Greetings from Kent Innovation High. It's Monday, December 15th. Today we're going to look at the legislative process, and we also looked at brainstorming some ideas for our human trafficking product, designing online internet security for a young group of students. So students today work in teams on that. Here's a summary of what we did. First part of class looked at the legislative process, while the second part really brainstormed some ideas. Looking at the legislative process, students looked at that infographic that we talked about on Friday and just reviewed and reminded students what that looks like. The major takeaway students should have from this legislative process is just understanding how a bill can go through Congress and actually become law. Students should understand that a bill can start in either the House or the Senate. Students should also understand that from that initial step that the bill goes to committee where it's changed and marked up, where rules are attached to it. Then it goes to either the House or the Senate for debate, and that once it finishes going through the House or the Senate, it has to go through the other body and then finally resolve the differences between the two houses and then back to the president. If any of this process seems unclear, please see us for clarification. To help student thinking as far as the legislative process goes, we looked at this discussion prompt, and students brainstormed a list of questions that they thought were relevant to this discussion prompt. When they were done with that process, the session 1 students generated these questions. Then they voted on what they thought were the top 3 or 4 questions using a dot system. The following questions are what the students thought were the most important questions to consider regarding the legislative process. How many times can a president veto a bill? Why is the process so long? What percentage of bills don't get made into laws? Do people think the legislative process is positive for our society? What is the process? What decides if it is a positive outcome? Who decides if it's a good process? In the second hour of class, students started brainstorming both problems and potential products for their online internet security educational piece that they will create. Students worked in small groups to brainstorm some of these ideas. Then they processed them with each other to see how their thinking had developed. These brainstorming ideas were discussed as a class and then compiled into a problems document, which Shallow typed up and you can find as a hyperlink in today's agenda doc. After this, students used each other in small groups and also as a whole group to process their ideas and evaluate them. They used an I liked and I wonders format in order to do this. At the end of all of this, students should have some idea of what kind of problem they might want to address in this product and what kind of a solution that they might want to propose. We'll look at more possible solutions in class tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, I suggest that you look at the agenda doc. We've hyperlinked several activities and resources there. Also, they're available in Google Classroom, and you can always email us for any further questions. Lastly, as far as this whole piece goes, this video, I'm going to try to do this on a daily basis and see if I can do it. If I can streamline this and make it quick and easy, I think that this would be a great way to communicate with students who are absent from class or parents who have any questions on what it is that we did in class, or students who just plain forget what it is that we did and want to know what the responsibilities are. So that's what we're looking at. I can't make any promises that I'm going to be able to do this every single day, but I'm going to try and see if I can get it down to 10 or 15 minutes per video. As far as the time it takes for me to make it, then I think that we'll be able to do it. So we'll see where it goes. See you tomorrow.